Well, hello there, friends, on this lovely Friday, November 23rd, 2018. Getting closer and closer to that last month of the year. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. If you had to work, hope you survived. So before you assume what this video is about, I urge you to just watch it. Even if you have to watch it at a faster speed because, well, you talk so slow. Doesn't sound slow to me, so sorry. Anyway, folks, what do you mean that you reject the black pill? So this is not a video where it's like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm like rejecting the truth of it. You know, the truth about some of the realities of life and stuff like that. And it's not one of those like, oh, so are you just now like generically happy? Are you doing that stupid ass power of positive thinking? You know, if you just sort of pretend that everything is fine, that nothing affects you, you know, happiness is a choice, and I choose to be happy. No, it's none of that. None of that. So, I would say it's sort of a cold acceptance of the situation, but not using it as an excuse to sort of give up and not try. Nor, you know, look at my situation and say, well, it's all just too late and do nothing. So, yeah, things are messed up, you know. The dating world, sexual market, the way our society is going, but that is not an excuse for me to not try, you know? I'm no longer going to use that as something to just get depressed about and, well, women want this, or, well, you're too old for that, and, well, there's a lot of competition or this or that. You can never do that. You know, people have been doing this or that thing for longer than you, so I don't really care anymore, you know? I don't really care anymore because I still want to try. I still would like to try. Even though, yeah, I realize for some things, it definitely, you realize how hard you're going to have to work for it. And, well, we'll see, you know? It's the thing. Why not even at least try? You're not that young anymore, and don't have the experience with the women, and who are you to say that you'll do this or that career or whatever? Well, I don't really care. I'm still at least going to try, folks. So, and I don't think this is, you know, so this isn't some sort of like, oh, gosh, I just feel so great because I'm ignoring things and, you know, just giving myself a false sense of hope. It's none of that. I guess I just don't kind of care what the situation is. I'm still going to try my best, even though up to this point, I realize it has not really been the case. So that's sort of where I'm at, folks. Don't have a particularly long ramble about things. I don't really have a regret about the past anymore, about, oh, man, it would have been nice to experience this or that or blah, blah, blah. I don't really care anymore. You know, it's like I am who I am. My situation is as it is. And I'm going to try to make the best of it and improve what I know I need to improve. But the situation is as it is, you know? And I'm not going to dwell on what didn't happen in the past and what I wish had happened and this or that, because it's all shit that I can't control anyway. So it's no point in endlessly just thinking about it. So I would say it's a certain sense, a certain bit of self-acceptance too, you know? So maybe delusional. Maybe it's just cope. Maybe naive. I don't really know. Don't really care either anymore. So, and it's one of those things too. Looking at a broader spectrum too, or I don't know how to say it, but I think it's probably safe to say, we're definitely living in the decline of our culture and civilization. Probably the things that really needed to be done by the people we elected, probably not going to get done. We'll still see, folks. I used to look at it in a very damn, this overwhelming thing to get just sad and whatever about, but not so much anymore. And I mean that in terms of, once again, that you just sort of we're going to just lay down, not try, give up. Fuck that, man. Fuck Eldar. Fuck being just endlessly depressed about it. Honestly, fuck all of that. So, and yeah, maybe there's not a whole lot that you can control, but there's definitely stuff that you can control. So I can control my body, and I can control my mind. I can control the time that I have, folks. What I do with it up to a certain point. Obviously, you have obligations to work and this and that, but things like that. So, it is kind of one of those where at some point it just seems kind of absurd to be endlessly, this TFL guy is arguing with that TFL. I don't care, man. And what else? I think that if anything, I look at the future, as sort of bleak as some things may look like. I think it'll be an opportune time for people to, I know this is going to sound fruity. I think it'll be an opportune time for people to become heroes in a certain sense of the word. Now, you can become an hero if you decide to get all depressed and stuff like that, or, accomplish great things and become a hero. I feel like that's something our world is very much lacking, feels like we don't have like real heroes. It's just the people you were set in school to, like, oh yeah, this or that person, oh, this person's diary, blah, fucking, I don't give a shit about any of these people. You don't get to tell me who I'm supposed to, like, adore and whatever. That's for me to decide, you know? So, who knows? On one hand, things overall are screwed up and in a state of chaos. You know, I think that's about the only good description of, you know, say the dating market, with how, oh, the Chad, the oofy doofy, the blah blah blah. We're seeing everything. We're seeing the Chad and the oofy doofy get the girl, but we're also seeing a whole lot of dudes be TFL, FA, incel, whatever. So I think the only good description then of what's happening is it's in a state of chaos and being, what's that thing, deconstructed. Yeah, you know, oh, the deconstruction of blah blah blah. It's in a state of chaos and deconstruction, and we can follow suit with it, folks. We can follow suit with it, or bring some sort of order. At first to ourselves, and then to the outside, right? If there's any truth to that whole as above, so below, as within, as without, something like that. So on one hand, things are looking bleak, but on the other hand, also a time of some sort of opportunity, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to head home, folks. Get some sleep. Work out tomorrow. Do other stuff. Read some good books. I want to finish reading Bronze Age Mindset, you know? Real good stuff. Not, oh, what's the latest vampire, blah, blah, teen, blah, oh, fuck, man. Anyway, folks, I'll see you later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.